Hi guys, this is your girl Angel, aka Malika Heals. Okay, so we get into this topic that I have really been thinking about, and I was just wondering that, indeed the Bible does talk about the power of that we our tongues have power to speak life and death. And I'm happy about certain things that we do say, like, oh no, I was just joking. For example, you say something and you say, I was just joking. Remember that your words do have power. And it's not just a by the way type of thing. Back into what we actually are going to talk about. So today I wanted to talk about something. My thoughts on, for example, if you see a man and he looks so fine and he looks so good, and whether you're friends or not, immediately you look at them, you affiliate them to not being single just because they look good. Or if you see a woman and she look good, you affiliate them to seeing somebody. Oh, you look so good these days, is there a man in your life? Or if you travel a whole lot, then there should be somebody sponsoring your trips to travel, or there's somebody, in short, you probably have somebody around you. But then the thing that really got me to think was, the idea that has been placed on the fact that when somebody looks amazing or good or fantastic, people automatically just assume that, the reason why Angel looks good, or the reason why Mike or James or Peter or Solomon or whatever your name is, or Miriam or Angela, whatever your name is looking good, is because they now have a man or they now have a woman, which is really not true. Because what if you're just happy? Sometimes, true happiness is within, and happiness is free of charge. You can literally be happy with just something as little as just going outside and taking a walk. You looking at the birds outside, looking at the sunlight, sun come up. It could be many things, snow, so many different things that can actually make you happy. And it's not affiliated to the fact that, oh, just because you look a certain way, that means that you are seeing somebody. So then people are not permitted to look good just because they are single, or now that they're married they cannot look good. Who said that once you are married then you can no longer look sexy and look beautiful or handsome? After all, you are married to the person. You have to look beautiful and you have to look handsome for them. So why stop at being the best version of yourself just because you settled down? But my point though is it's this one thing that it bothered me. It's not a bad thing. It's just that, sometimes it's good to have control over how we actually speak. Not in a good or a bad way, however you want to look at it. When somebody looks good, and someone says, oh, you look like $1,000,000, okay, because I dressed up good, put some cheap makeup on, that means that I have money, or that means that I'm wealthy? How is that affiliated to looking good? Does putting some makeup on, some lipstick on, and looking pretty have anything to do with wealth? After all, they are men that dress up and look good. Doesn't mean that they are wealthy. Honey, you need to feel good about yourself. And sometimes feeling good about yourself means putting on a very beautiful dress, put some makeup on, put that nice red ruby lipstick on, and just go and enjoy your sweet life. It has nothing to do with the fact that just because you dressed up and you look good, that means you're wealthy. Wealth is not is not described as something that, is perceived or seen from the outside. You may never really know that somebody is extremely wealthy to the status of a billionaire or a trillionaire or whatever. You may never know. I have worked for clients because I work as a caregiver, and I have worked with different clients whereby they are very, very, very is an understatement, but I mean they're extremely wealthy, and they have the same shirt in different colors. They have the same pants that they wear every day. I'm telling you, they have smart clothes, dressy clothes, but they won't wear them. They will wear that particular shirt and that particular pair of pants. But, honey, their account is flourishing. It is running down, running over, with trillions falling down. And you wouldn't know. Why? Because wealth is not money, or having that status of being a billionaire or a trillionaire is not affiliated to how you dress. That is why you can't tell who is rich and who is poor. That maybe the only thing that might make you know is how informed they are, the things that they know. Knowledge. They say knowledge is power. Bible says my people perish because of lack of knowledge. When you don't have knowledge about something, you're probably poor in that department because you don't know about it. But once you know about it, that poor part is eliminated and you become wealthy because you have that information with you, which can help you, make better decisions or do things better. So to say, the way you dress, you look like $1 million, it doesn't make sense to me. Or to say, I also did this where I have a friend of mine and I said, oh bro, you look so good. I think you have a woman in your life. And then it occurred to me, and he said something to me in this line. He said, well, friend, listen, just because I look good doesn't mean that there's a woman affiliated to my life. I need to look good and feel good about myself. It doesn't need to take a woman to make me feel good about myself. I need to feel good about myself without the woman or with the woman. Because when the person comes, I'm already a happy person. I'm already a complete person. They're not completing me. I'm already a complete person. So once we get together, it's like two different people who partnered to be better people. And I was like, yeah, that's right. And it dawned to me that sometimes we use these narratives and these situations and we don't even realize that we are saying things just because it's become a slogan that everybody uses. And just because it's a slogan doesn't make it right. Just because everybody says it doesn't make it right. So my thing is, wealth or finances or riches are not affiliated to how somebody dresses. I have been to the thrift store. I love to go to the thrift store. You will never know. I will buy my stuff from the thrift store, take it to the laundry. If I have to take it to the dry cleaners, I will take it to the dry cleaners, get those clothes cleaned up. Once you see me, you won't know, because it doesn't really matter what I wear. If I'm happy within myself, what I wear outside doesn't really matter. As long as I'm decent and I feel comfortable, that should be enough. But to look at an individual and say, well, because they dress a certain way or because they are dressed up that particular day means they have money is just wrong, because they probably don't have it. They probably don't even have money to buy gas. They probably don't have money for food. But guess what? You can wear a dress. People have 1 million clothes in their closets. Some of the clothes, they have never worn them before. Shoes. I can bet you some people even have makeup that they've never opened. And they have those things in there. But it takes somebody who has an eye for something for them to make it exceptional. The same dress might not look the same way on another person, but it takes an eye. If somebody has the eye to, when they look at things, they don't just see the dress, they see more than just the dress. And that's me. That's where I come in. But that's not the point. The point is, wealth is not affiliated to how somebody dresses or somebody looks. I've watched there's a show that normally would come on TV where, you know, great people like bosses, people that own companies, CEOs that own great and big companies, walk into their, like, let's say they decided they're gonna go to Dallas. Maybe their main office or branch is in Arizona, and then they decided they're gonna go to the Dallas branch so that they can see people and just interact with people and just, you know, see how their company is doing. And many times when they do that, they pretend to be a low person and they work with people, and that's how they get to see who's great, and they do these many great things for these people. But you would never know. You know what I mean? People never really know that this is the boss, and they will be there interacting, talking, and they will see the heart of people. They will see those people that have, you know, the heart for the company. Some people have been fired because of those behaviors, because they portrayed who they really were, and this is on live TV. So my thing is, you can't really tell, and those people, when they do those shows, you would never know that this person is a CEO or they own anything. So affiliating wealth to how somebody dresses is not right. Affiliating a partner to someone who looks good just because they look good is not right. Just because somebody looks nice, they you know, did some work on themselves, they've worked out, doesn't mean they're working out because there is somebody. It just means that they found peace within themselves. They healed from their trauma. If they went through trauma, they found healing. They found themselves. If they were lost, they're found, and they found peace within themselves. And maybe they have met Christ on a level that nobody can understand. You know, once there's meeting Christ, there's I give my life to Christ, and there's that part of your life where you meet Christ. And once you meet Christ, there are a lot of things that changes. In the beginning, I'm not saying trials will not be there. You will face trials, you will face tribulations, but there's something that God does inside of you, the inside work that he does inside you, that you don't need to even make an effort. He just beautifies you. He just makes you handsome. He makes you look the part, even when you're not even trying. He makes life beautiful for you. Even when you're going through things, he strengthens you. There's just something he does a work, and he does a number in you that, you know, things just change. It's not like you're trying. There's trying so hard to impress people, and there's a part where you don't even try and you're already impressing people. You just do your work with diligence, with respect, with love, you know. You put in your best, and just that little that you put in puts you on the roadmap. Even when you're not trying, the effort is seen. You know what I mean? Because God has done a number in you. You learn to be honest, you learn to be kind, you learn to be forgiving, you learn to be understanding, you learn to love yourself, love you for the person that God created, because the Bible says that God created you and I in his image. You get to see that I am God's image, and so if I am God's image, the Bible says I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Once God starts to do that work in you, everything you do just becomes like, oh my God, she did this, he did this, and it was phenomenal. No, it's just the grace of God and its favor, because they're not doing anything to be the part. God makes them the part. God makes me the part. God makes you the part. And so sometimes the reason why people look at others and they're like, you're glowing. I'm glowing because Jesus has done a work in me. I'm glowing because God has healed me. I'm glowing because I have peace. I have joy. I have forgiven the people that I need to forgive. I am not holding on to anything. I have no grudge towards anybody. So I'm glowing. Oh, man, if even men, this is not just for women. Even a man who you see and you say, oh my God, this man looks good. The person probably just found themselves and they've healed and they found Jesus. And Jesus probably found them too. So it's not about like, oh, they look good because it's affiliated to money. No. Looking good does not mean there's a man. Looking good does not mean there's a woman in a man's life. Or in a woman's life, there's a man. In a man's life, there's a woman. It does not mean that. And it doesn't mean that they're, rich or have the status of a billionaire. It does not mean that. It just means that they're probably just peaceful and they're happy with who they are. They're happy with who they are. They found themselves and they find joy in things that people don't find joy in. You know what I mean? Little things please them. And so it's not affiliated to the status of a billionaire or a trillionaire or a millionaire, whatever. It's just that God has done a work in them or in me or in that person. So to look at somebody just because they look fly, good, their body, doesn't mean that they're wealthy. It doesn't mean that they have money. Sometimes people look at you and they say, oh, you look so good, and then immediately change from that topic and immediately text you and say, oh, is there any way you can send me money for A, B, C, D, E, F, G? Why can't you just tell somebody they look good without affiliating it to, now I can ask for money, now I can ask for this? Why not just appreciate someone because they look good? There's nothing wrong with that. There's no harm in doing that. Wealth is not affiliated to how somebody appears. Wealth is peace inside your heart. Wealth is divine health. Wealth is divine settlement. Wealth is divine peace. You have peace, eternal peace, everlasting peace. Wealth is inside. Yes, I'm not saying being broke is a great thing. No, it isn't. But when you are wealthy, look at your life. Your 2 eyes can see. You have fingers that can work. You have a mouth that can speak. You have a nose that can breathe. You have ears that can hear. A body that is intact and you can walk. You can taste and smell your food. There are people who have been on oxygen machines. They don't even know what it feels like to breathe a breath of fresh air every morning. There are people that flew this morning, but they didn't make it today. There are people that choked on the food that you're eating today and they died. There are kids that were in their mother's womb and they came out and they were not alive. They were dead. There are so many situations where people, can't use their behind to do number 2 because they have health problems and they have to pee in a bag or poop in a bag. There are situations where so many bad things, like I can go on and on and on and on. And here you are. Your family's intact. This is November. From January to November, you breathe just fine. You have not gone to the hospital and they have not given you any negative report. You are just fine. Your teeth work just fine. That's wealth. To me, that's what I would consider wealth. Yes, money is a surplus. It's like a little cherry on top of the, ice cream. It's like a little cherry on top of the ice cream. You are wealthy knowing that you have peace, knowing that you have love, knowing that you have forgiven, knowing that you are not harboring anything against anyone, knowing that even when you're on your own, you can pray for those people that hurt you and say, Lord, I pray that you bless them. Then you know that you are wealthy. When your family members from January to December, you have not heard anyone say, hey, auntie, uncle, cousin, whoever is in the hospital, you are wealthy. You are alive. You can breathe. People are dead today, but you are alive. That's wealth. Wealth that cannot be purchased, that cannot be bought, that cannot be priced. It's something that God has given to you freely. So, affiliating wealth as opposed to what the world thinks wealth and says wealth is to a human being because of how they dress is not right. Or affiliating a relationship to a woman because she looks good is not right. Affiliating a woman to a man who is single because they look fine is not good, because that's not what it is. Just hit the nail on the wall. If the man's fine, just tell him, sir, gentleman, whatever his name is, tell him, you know what, Jerry, you look so good today. You look very, very nice. End of story. Oh, you look good. Is there a woman in your life? Child, ain't none of your business. If there's a man, if there's a woman, ain't none of your business. So, if a woman looks good, well, Terry, you look so amazing today. You look beautiful. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But moving from that topic to affiliating wealth to how somebody looks, that's not right. Allow people to look good freely without them having to explain to you the reason why they look good. They just feel good that day and they look good. That's fine. Be okay with the fact that somebody looks good. That's it. Don't affiliate their appearance to money. Don't affiliate how they look because you think they have a relationship. Everything's not about a man. Everything's not about a woman. Nobody wants to be lonely, obviously, but it's not affiliated to that. So I wanted to share this with you guys and also see what your views are about it. I wanted to share that because that's how I feel, and your views are appreciated, your comments are appreciated. So tell me, what do you think? When you look good, does that mean you have money in your account? When you look good, does that mean that now you have a new relationship? When you look good, does that mean that you're trying to get somebody's attention? No. It just means you feel good about yourself and you just feel great. That's it. There's nothing wrong with looking good and feeling good about yourself. But affiliating the appearance of a person to wealth, to money, is just wrong, in my opinion. What do you think? What do you suggest? How do you look at it? What are some of the things that you would say now, listening to this video, that you've said to other people that now you realize that maybe you might have offended them by what you said, or maybe it just didn't come out right? Maybe that was not appreciated. What are the things that you have said? Drop down your comments of the things that you have said over the years that you would like to be corrected, and maybe people will change and they will see things differently going forward. So if you have a comment, please comment down below and just share your views. I appreciate you for watching this video till the end, and I speak blessings to you. Happy Thanksgiving. Bye.